Ladies and gentlemen, and Foley artists, and song designers, and audio designers, we're going to make our own song with BandLab. We're going to use a DAW. In this case, the DAW is going to be BandLab. Let's get started. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to do all these things. You can read through this real fast. You can read through it. And we're going to do all this. Read through it real fast. You can pause the video if you want to. Let me show you what we're going to do, though. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go to a program called BandLab. And you're going to start off with getting a song. So I got the song Ice Ice Baby right here from YouTube. So let me play that. Okay, so I got that song. Now, I didn't use that as the base of my song. I just added as a little addition to the song. You can do it however you want. The sound effect that you get off of YouTube, or the song that you get off of YouTube, can be a song. It can just be a sound. It could be anything. It could be like you could start the song with, "The only thing we have to fear is fear itself." You can get that old clip and add that in there. So it's whatever you want to do. All right. So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to add some loops. Okay. So up here, somebody made this thing right here. It's a loop, and well, let's hear it. It goes boop, boop. So let's see if we can hear it. Nope, it's not going to go. Okay, so we're going to go over here, and let's get started. You can hear it. So you can see the little notes there. Okay, and the reason it's called a loop is because what you can do is you can make it as long or short as you want. So let's say I wanted to, like, oh, I want more of that little boop, boop, and I can just loop it, loop it, loop it, loop it, loop it. So that's a loop. The other thing that you're going to add is you're going to add a MIDI track. And so the MIDI track is where you go in and you say, okay, I want to make a kind of a bass sound or whatever. You can choose your instrument, and then you can just draw in. So on the little piano keyboard, you can just draw in the notes that you want. Okay, so for example, so this is my bass keyboard. Okay, so you can just paint those sounds in. Okay, so that's the next thing you're going to do. All right, another thing that you're going to do is you're going to do a drum track. You're going to do that the same way. So you can hear, so you're going to make your own little drum track. So let's go. So you can hear, you hear that. Okay, so you can paint that in the same way. And then another thing you're going to do is you're going to have a voice recording of yourself. You don't have to sing. If you're not brave like me and you don't want to sing, you don't have to, but you could. Okay, so that's kind of what you're going to do. All right, and then the next piece is that you're going to save this as an MP3. Then you're going to make a video slideshow in a program called Clipchamp, and you're going to add like 1 to 3 pictures to it. You hear that? Okay, and then after you add your 1 to 3 pictures, you're going to save it to YouTube, and then from YouTube, you're going to put it on your Weebly web portfolio. So if over here, you can see I have a picture. I don't know how many pictures I have. Just one picture throughout the whole thing. Probably be better for the couple pictures, but anyway, you have your song on there, so you can put your work, you can put a video of your work on your video slideshow. So that's basically what we're going to do, an overview of the project. So it's a lot to it. It's not too hard, though. Okay, now I want you to write down this note, write this down in your own words on notepad paper, on line paper. Make sure you put your name at the top and put my song, so we know what this is going to be. This is going to be the last set of notes that we take for audio design, and then you're going to turn in your notes for points, and then we're going to take a pre-practice and real test on this. So write this down. DAW stands for Digital Audio Workstation. A DAW is a digital system designed for recording and editing digital audio. It could be the hardware or software or both. So for example, you've got the hardware that you can touch and turn and use, and then you have the computer system that goes with it. It used to be just the hardware. Now it could either be the computer alone or the computer with hardware. Okay, so a digital version is going to look like that. Okay, so we're going to use BandLab. BandLab, you can work with existing songs. You can add sound effects from Audacity, or you could use loops, built-in loops that come right with the software, or you could add loops from other places. Write this down. A loop is a collection of sound clips that go together. So just like I showed you with some of those loops, so you had like bass and guitar and drums, and they all work together. And so basically you can take somebody else's work but piece it together in a new way and basically make your own song that way. So we'll talk, write this down in your notes. We'll talk more about MIDI files later, though, as far as me talking about it. All right. So what are other digital audio workstations? Adobe Audition has a desktop one that it's expensive. It only works if you have like an actual PC or Macintosh. FL Studio, same thing, desktop and expensive. You should try these out. They're good. There's these other ones. So a browser-based one that will work in your web browser, that means you can also use it on your Chromebook, is Soundtrap. It costs about $8 a month. And then BandLab is free to use, although you can pay for the upgraded version. So there's like the base version, and then there's a pro version. So anyway, we're going to use the free version. We'll talk about loops later. Okay, let's jump into part 2. Let's create the folder. So let's go ahead and make this folder right here. So you're going to go in and you're going to go into Creative Computers. You're going to go make a folder called Audio Design. You're going to make a folder called My Song, and then a folder called Assets My Song. Okay, so make those folders. Hit pause and make those folders real quick, and then we're going to move on. All right, so you're going to record something. So you can record or a few things using Audacity. Okay, and then you're going to save them into the folder. So for example, I'm going to go to Audacity, and I recorded my own voice, and I saved it into my assets folder, and I recorded the Ice Ice Baby, and I saved it in my folder. Now you should know how to do this, so I'm not going to go over it, but basically what I'm going to do is I recorded Ice Ice Baby from YouTube. Okay, and I trimmed it down just to the part I wanted. I got it just how I wanted. I went File, Export Audio, I exported to the computer, and then what I wanted to do is I want to save it in the Audio Design, My Song, Audio Assets, right? So I'm going to save it right there, and so that I can use it later. So what you can do, and so I'm going to hit Export. I'm going to cancel because I've already done it. But what you can do is you go to BandLab. Let's see if I can find it. All right, so you make your recordings, you record stuff off of YouTube, you make your sound effect, you record your own voice, then you save it in your Assets folder, and then you're going to come to BandLab, okay, and it says right here, drop a loop or an audio track on there. So what I'm going to do is now I'm going to go to my folder, and here's my folder, and I'm going to go into Assets, and there's the Ice Ice Baby. So what I can do is I can drag it right there. Okay, in this case, by the way, it didn't match up at all, and so I had to go to it, and I had to go to Audio Stretch, and I had to lower the speed like by 20% or something to make it. I played around with it till it matched up. So at any rate, but you can do that. Anything that you have in your Assets folder, you can drag on here. I'm going to delete that, though. I don't want that one, so I'm going to delete that track. Okay, so let's see where we're at. Okay, so what should you add? Add a song, a voice, a sound, or music from YouTube or another source. Okay, and then add a sound effect that you made in Audacity. Okay, so we're going to add at least those two things. We're going to create stuff in Audacity, save it to the Assets folder, and we're going to add it to BandLab. And if you want to do your voice at this point, you can do that too. All right, that's it for, oh, wait a minute, we're not done. Don't be a jerk, save your work. Okay, so this doesn't save automatically. Okay, so make sure that every now and again, and definitely before you quit, you hit save and save your work. Okay, let me show you, by the way, before we go, let me show you how to do this. So I'm going to close this down. Okay, I'm going to go into BandLab. Oh, no, I want to just go to BandLab. Okay, I'm going to go to BandLab. When you go to log in, you're gonna so here it is. Here's my work. I'm just going to click on this, or double click on it, and then I'm going to go to Studio, and then it's going to load it. That's how, after you're done with it, that's how you reload it. Okay, that's it. Thanks, guys.